Hello, everybody. I know that you have just recently watched the compilation of the various parts of growing plants in rock and sand. You probably never heard of this process. I hadn't either before December of 2018, actually, when a good friend of mine, Aisha Sandy, introduced me to this whole process. And so, because the information is so new, I wanted to make sure that I shared this within the group, within our community. And so, there's a book that you can get through Amazon. It's called River Stones Grow Plants. The author, Richard Campbell, and his uncle were the ones to discover and patent this process called geological agriculture, or GeoAg for short. And so Richard was actually in the Peace Corps, and he was overseas, and when he came back, he went to visit his uncle. And his uncle, was one of the elders in the community that would sit on the porch in his rocking chair, right? And just spit the watermelon seeds out into the gravel that kind of adorned the house in the front of the rock. And so when Richard got there to talk with his uncle was like, "Boy, I need for you to tell me why I got plants growing up from out of my rock. Them ain't no weeds, them was real plants coming up over there." And so Richard, being the researcher and scientist that he is, he was like, "Well, let's try and figure this thing out," right? So they started researching and figuring out that the seeds that his uncle was spitting into the rock, that was all that was needed, with a little water added to it to actually make it come up. So they've done a lot of research, and it's all here in the book. And so they've done an excellent job with explaining exactly how this procedure goes. I wanted you to see the plants that I had actually done. And what it looks like. You could do outdoors, you can do indoors, you can do a various methods of growing these particular plants. And so that's the book. They went an extra step. Richard, he's a Morehouse grad, woohoo! And so they actually, once they grew the plants, they had them tested by UGA for their nutritional content to actually see if there was a difference in plants growing in the soil as opposed to this geoagricultural system, because of course it was brand new. Nobody had heard of it. And again, Richard owns the patent on this process. And so what they were able to come up with was this table, gravel versus soil. And what happened is 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, the gravel was more potent with magnesium, potassium, iron, and all of those, as opposed to what was grown in the soil, or in dirt, as we would call it. And so all of this is broken down. So we have the sunflower microgreens, we've got the pea shoot, and those were what was in the videos, right? And wheatgrass, cilantro is just really, when you grow cilantro out of the rocks, man, it's like nothing, nothing you've ever tasted before. And so I brought this out just to let you know that it has been scientifically tested and proven that these particular plants or microgreens, superfoods, are more nutritious coming from out of this simple process that I'm getting ready to show you. And that was the reason why I did that last video. I had no idea that it was going to come up like that. But I had been paying like $6 for a real small container. You know, $6, $7 for those broccoli sprouts. And I thought I was doing pretty good, right? Until I grew them myself. And then it was like, oh my God, these look so much richer than what I've been spending my money on. And so that's why I did that video, because it was Aisha invited me to come and take the classes, and I did. It was just such a phenomenal experience. So everything basically that you need is like really cheap, really inexpensive. So these are your supplies: empty water containers. All right. This tray I got from the Dollar Tree. Need a pair of scissors to cut the water bottles, and you need something to pierce a hole, which is just a push pin or a tack, right? And that's all we need as far as getting this together. Now, on those last videos that you saw, I actually used, you know, the containers that you get your greens for salads, your spinach and salad greens and things like that. That's what I use, because once I learned how to do the process, it was like I would rather have a larger container, which would give me more, and then I could just pick off of it, you know, versus having several smaller ones. And so that's why I did that. And then also, I guess I'm a researcher too, so I wanted to see what it would look like in a larger container. And so those were the ones where those sunflowers was actually pushing the rocks out of the container. You could use this type of a container as well. All you want to do is going to be the same process as put your sand in the bottom. You're going to poke your holes in the bottom, and then you're going to put your sand in, then your rock, and then your seeds in there. So you can use any container, and the magic of this or the salad greens plastic is that you can just take the top off and use it for your catch tray. So this is all you would need. And so that's what I'm saying. It is such an economical way to grow food. And so we would take the bottle, and let's take this cap off. And all you would do, I hope this is not too loud, but all you're going to do is cut it like so. And now you have a container. See? And you're going to poke some holes in the bottom. About 5 or 6, 4 or 5. Just poke them in to the bottom. This plastic is a little thin, but it's okay. Anyway, you want to go around and poke your holes in. Then you want to come up maybe about a ½ an inch or so, and you want to poke some holes around the side. And I'm going to explain to you why we're doing this. So you want to do that. And now you've got your drainage holes, right? So you want to pour sand in, and it's going to look like this. Now remember, you got your holes first. All the instructions are detailed in the book that I showed you, but you want to put your sand in, and this is about the amount. I didn't measure it out in a measuring cup, because you know sometimes we get really sidetracked with how much is that. So you don't want to put a lot of sand. The sand's purpose is to act as a sponge. So the water is maintained through the sand. The sand also makes sure that the water gets up to the rock. So I just wanted to explain that real quick. I'm going to explain it again, but that's the purpose of the sand. And so we cut the water bottle. We stuck the holes in the bottom, and then on the side, And the holes are where the sand will be. So you don't need holes in the rock part, just where the sand is going to be. So that's one step, 2 steps, and then you're going to put your rock in, right? So the rock, called the rock, you want the smaller rocks, because there are some that are quite a lot larger than this, but you want to get these small granules, because the bigger rock makes it a little bit more difficult for you to get your seed in there. Okay, so we have our sand. We've already put the holes in. We've added the sand. And now we're going to put some rock in there. So that's cool right there. And remember, I was talking about the size of the seed. So this is the sunflower seed. All right. So the sunflower seed, we can put right there. And then we're going to put more rock on the top of that. So now that's finished, right? So we're going to put that here. That's where it's going to be housed. And what I would suggest is that when you're doing this process, that you write the name of whatever seed you're going to use in this container, so that you know what it is. On the video, you notice that everything that I did had a name and a date. So you want to keep up with what you're growing and know what you're growing. So once we do this, we're going to then take some water, and we'll do that in a second, and fill this up, this container. The water will come through, it will fill the tray up, and then the water will come up from the bottom of the tray and make sure that the water gets on the seeds, right? And when the tray dries out, then you can pour additional water on the top, or you can put it in the tray, either one. Again, this little device here is a serving tray, and it's at the dollar store. And of course, these are just leftover empty water. And you can always have your family and friends collect water bottles for you if this is a project that you want to do. And you can also use these, and these were actually at the dollar store as well. They came in a pack like this. So very inexpensive process. Economical, let's use that word better. Right? And so that is basically it. However, I want to cover a couple of things with you. The sand is actually play sand. And you're going to get a large container like this, maybe a little bit bigger, for like $2 or $3. This is all you need. So what you can do is to go in with a couple of other people and buy a thing of sand, and the rock is basically the same thing. And you can use this over and over. If you have a situation where your sand is starting to look a little trashy, then you can toss it out and put more sand in it. The rocks, you never have to replace. The rocks that you buy, these rocks right here, they're going to be good forever. All you have to do is take them out of the container once you finish with your plant growth, and rinse them off to get any residue off of them, and then they're good to go. All right, so rock is forever. The sand, you may need to replace it. I'm telling you, that was 19 when I did those videos. my sand container bag is still like this. And I've been doing all kind of experiments with them. So just know, very, very reasonable, and it works in any type of environment. So so we did that, right, with the sunflower. This is what I was talking about on the video with the broccoli sprouts. You see how small those are? And so when we're using the broccoli sprouts, what we want to do is take our container and put the broccoli sprouts on the top and just kind of shake them down. So you're not putting them in the middle. You're putting them on the top and then shaking them down. So, and then now that one's ready to go. So now you've got broccoli sprouts and you've got sunflowers. And they're ready. So Star is the beneficiary of these two. Woohoo! And again, if you want to do larger, you can use one of these type of containers. You can use the one where you buy the salad greens from the store. You can use this as a catch tray. You can do 5 plants at one time in one of those trays. I would suggest that you get the best grade of seeds that you can. What I use is botanical interest. And here's my broccoli sprouts, my pea shoots, my cilantro, and what did that say? Upland cress, and more sunflower. But remember, I still got a bag of sunflower seeds at the house from my former employer. So it's just want to show you. Here's basil, and there's some Swiss chard. So you can grow a variety of plants with this process. I have an outdoor gravel garden at our community service, at our community garden over in Mapleton, and we're doing peas and spinach and what else? We have a couple other plants that we've grown over in there. So the lights is low. Oh, shoot. So the lights, you can use either. This is a very inexpensive light. Actually purchased it at Walmart for $4, and this is that other light that I showed you guys. This is the red and blue lights, and this you can use either one of these lights if you don't have sufficient sunlight in your home. So that's it as far as a presentation goes. So I'm going to step away for just a moment because my battery is low. Star's doing this for me. I just need to get her to charge her cable right quick. I'll be right back.
And while you're gone, Tanya says, Sandy Rogers, this is awesome. I've been waiting to do this. This demo is right on time. Thanks for this.
You're welcome, Tanya, and I'm coming, you guys. I just, we don't let nothing stop us. We just do what we got to do. Okay. We good. So, see, that was real quick. So, I need to tell you guys something else, too. This is my first time ever doing a Facebook Live on my phone. And so, we get to learn and just do what we got to do in order to make this process work. And so thank you, Tanya, and I'm glad that this is something that you're interested in doing. Again, it doesn't take up a lot of space. You could do it in your basement. You could do it in the corner of a room. You can put it on like a TV stand, and just because your lights, especially these, and I got these from Amazon. It just clips on. It's a clip-on light. So you can put it on the end of the table of a TV tray table.
Or counter space.
Counter space, wherever you want. And you've got that going. The lights help to for them to really, really grow well. And I leave the light on the whole time. I never turn the lights off in the process when I'm growing. And I think that's about it. It's really simple. Really, really simple.
Well, Carla says, you are amazing. Let's get sprouting.
That's right.
And Tanya says, I missed the beginning of your presentation. Can you please share the name of the book again?
Sure. No problem, Tanya. So the name of the book is Riverstones Grow Plants. The author is Richard Campbell. His website is Two Soil Less. TOSOILLESS.com. And you can get it straight from him, or of course you can get it from other sources as well. I always like to support authors directly on their website, and that way they get full commission from the books that they write. And the other sheet that I was showing with the nutritional values is not something that I think you can get readily off of, but he may have it on his website. So let me not say that. He may have it on his website. But this is valuable information where it's been tested from UGA. So
Tanya says, I'll be watching this presentation over and over again to do this.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you, says Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, so simple. It's just such a simple process. So I've taught the children at the garden and made it a project with them. And so I'm going to share this little story because it just really tickles me. So I had 3 children, and I was explaining to them how to do this. And I had those pea shoots, sunflowers, and broccoli sprouts for a friend of mine that I was going to be delivering after I taught the class with them. However, my friend was not available. So now I got these sprouts that I've harvested and nothing to do with them, right? So I wanted the children to taste them to see what to see what they were like, right? Just very healthy. You saw them on the video. And so this one little fella, he was like, I ain't eating that stuff. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. So I'm like, all right. So I passed the bags out to the other 2 children and their parents and whoever else was in the garden at the time. And so the other children, they're just eating them, you know, like nuts or something, you know, just like potato chips. They just eating them. And so then eventually Miles said, all right, I'll try it, you know. And he took a bag. He took a bag of the sunflower sprouts, and he would not share with anybody else. And he's been a true believer ever since that first day that he finally let his guard down, because they are so potent. They're so filling. You can taste the difference. It's like nothing you've ever had before, and they're extremely nutritious. So
Tammy Kinney says, I am working on my gut health. This is good.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. It'll help you out quite a bit. Yes, ma'am. So you can, again, you can use a variety of plants to do in the garden. These are just the ones that I've done, but it should not restrict you into to doing something. I am going to just add some water just so that I show you the last ending part of the process, because we did not do that. So this is just some, you can use whatever water you so choose. This is faucet water. So I'm just going to fill that up. And you see the water is coming out.
Yeah, thank you, because my cord is short here.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
And so we fill this up, and the water comes out, and it collects in the tray, as you can see. and then the water will come back up through those holes that we put in the bottom. And maybe a few days in, I don't think we put anything in that one. And a few days in, the water will have dried up, and you can either put more water in the top or you can put it at the bottom.
And Carla says sprouts have concentrated nutrition.
Yes. Yes.
And Tanya says, you're welcome. I was just about to say, this sounds like a science class for my kiddos.
Yes,
there's nothing better than, and I can't see it. So.
Okay, not a problem. So Star's on my phone, so look, we just making this thing work.
Yeah, like a champ.
What happens is, like, especially with the sunflower sprouts, they're like eating popcorn or chips or something. Once you get into it, and you're doing your body so much good with putting these sprouts, because remember, they're compacted with all of this nutritional value. And what's been proven by UGA is that the plants that are grown from out of the rock and gravel have more nutritional value with the different nutrients, your potassium, your iron, magnesium, all of those nutrients that support good health. So how we doing?
We're doing fine. There's no more responses coming in at this particular time.
Okay, excellent.
And so we're womaning this thing to the max.
Yes, well, thank you guys for being with us today. Go back and check out the YouTube. This live should be available for you to see again if in fact you missed any part of it. The YouTube will be live, or is live, and you can check that out again as well. It's just, I wanted you to see the different stages. And so I swear, man, this is like the simplest thing ever created. And you can just keep it going. Just keep it going, keep it going. So.
Tanya says that you guys are doing an excellent job. So I guess that would mean me too. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. I mean, we learned from the best with you and Carla, who led out first. So thank you for your awesome examples.
Yes, yes. Well, we appreciate you for being a part of the community, first of all. And we have a special offering coming up. It's called 28 for 28. And we want to make sure that we let you know about that. So, starting on Monday, February the 1st, we're asking any and all of the community members to join us for the full month of February. Join a minimum of 28 minutes of exercise, body movement every day. And it's just a commitment. Don't cost you nothing. It's just a commitment. Yes, I'll do it, right? But if for whatever reason you get lazy, you don't have time, you don't put it in as a priority, or you don't do it, then what we're asking is that you write down, put it in an envelope or something, $10.28. And at the end of the month, that money will be collected and given to a youth nonprofit organization. That's only if you don't do your 28 minutes of body movement, exercise. I mean, you know, you can jump rope, you can walk, you can dance, you can do squats around the house, you can do yoga, qigong, tai chi, you can do anything. But 28 minutes minimum. It's called 28 for 28. And all you do on the community page is just say, I'm in. I'm going to do it, or something like that. And then we'll look for your postings every day that you were able to complete your 28 minutes. And y'all come on and join us, man. We got to start moving these precious bodies of ours, right? I think that's all of the the announcements that I have started. There was something else you were going to tell me?
I think it was the 28.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was.
We're trying to stay up.
Yeah. And we're using our wonderful minds. We didn't write a darn thing down.
That's right. So I think we're on target.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you, everybody, again for being a part of this demonstration. And it's so incredibly simple to grow your own food, and food that is good and nutritious for your body. So with that,
there was a question from Tanya. Can you use this same? Can you use microgreens? Can microgreens be planted in groups to produce the full plant this way? Is her question.
Yes.
That
so once you get it started, whatever plant you have, if you want to plant it in a regular garden, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, once you eat from what you're growing from out of these little cups, it ain't gonna make it to the ground, man, because you'll be getting this compacted, concentrated energy and the nutritional value from out of them. But some plants do require more room for the root to grow, and so you would require them to be in soil. But again, check the book out. Richard and his uncle have done an amazing job with showing pictures of various stages, and they give you instructions on how to do an outside garden. And they've done it with several schools and some school projects with kindergartners and things like that. So it's an excellent system to teach the children. It's an excellent system. I've done demonstrations with women's groups at churches as well. So this is something where nobody should go hungry. We can teach our community how to grow food in rock and sand. And remember, this is all you need, the sand, and this is all you need of the rock. You can get a bag each, and you can help your whole block of folks. Just tell them to come with 2 empty water bottles or 4 or however many. And you are going to provide the sand and the rock. And if you get a bag like this of seed, y'all can be planting stuff, and it's only going to cost you $3, that's $6, maybe $10, and tell them to bring their own water bottles and their own trays.
Carla says, Sandy, you transformed my life.
Good. Thanks, Carla.
And where do you get the rocks from, Sandy?
Thanks for asking. That's a perfect question. So for both of them, the sand, and it's called play sand, and it's in the hardware section of Home Depot. The rock you can get the same store, and you're looking for the small pebbles, but it's outside in the garden department. I've also gotten some rocks at Ace Hardware. They were a little bigger, so just check the bag and make sure that they're the smaller rock before you purchase them. It may say small stone gravel or something like that, pebbles, on the bag, but look for yourself, because that's what happened to me. And so yeah, any home improvement store, you can get the supplies that you need.
Well, this demonstration, and this is Star speaking, this demonstration was really valuable, because just talking about it, and Sandy is my road dog, so she talks this kind of talk all the time, but without actually seeing it, it went over my head. I couldn't visualize it, but it is so simple and so clear. And I thank you for taking the time to bring this to us. I mean, you have blow-uptuated my level of gardening, and I appreciate you so much. You keep trying to give me a green thumb. I think this demonstration, you might have done it, my friend.
All right, yay! Well, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.
All right.
And don't forget the 28-28.